Resolution.
What would be the ordinance?
More attention to federal consent.
Good afternoon. We're going to start our study session.
It's Tim's birthday.
All righty. Counselor Lovejoy Grinnell.
It's ready?
It's ready?
Yes.
And my item is number 9, and that should be ready on Monday. Counselor Thompson.
Yes, Madam President, I have items 10 through 18. Can we have grants and the chief up here to speak about them?
Sure. So you want me to just go through the list?
Yes, please.
Okay. So 10 is a $500,000 or $500,000 for what we're going to try to do is create an internship that will bring a conduit of students from the PSLA from Fowler High School, students that have already committed to being fire department, police department, EMS. Our problem has always been with the PSLA is that you lose touch with them in the time when they graduate to the time they can take the test. You can't take the civil service test until you're 20 and a half, so that by the time you graduate from the academy, you're 21. In that 2.5 years or so from when they graduate, we could lose touch with them, even though it's a population that we would certainly like to keep our hands on to get them into the SBE family. So what this internship would do is be a paid internship. It wouldn't be just sitting at the desk looking over paperwork. You would go through each thing that the police department does. So you may start at the front desk, dealing with the public, watching the report writing, but then you're going to eventually enter a police car, ride along with officers, learn the computer, the portable radio, and everything that officer does. Then you may very well shadow a detective to learn how the investigative process works. And finally, you may even go out and become a part of the family by doing school crossings, which we're mandated to do, or canvassing a neighborhood after there's been a crime spree with literature, crime prevention literature, or canvassing the neighborhood just to find out what was going on there after we've had some crime in that neighborhood. So you would become an actual member of the police department. At that time, you would also be learning the whole time you're on the department, so that it would benefit you when you take the civil service test, score high on that, and then we bring you into the department as a police officer. It would give us, if we were able to develop this correctly, it would give us a constant yearly conduit of obviously city residents and more than likely very diverse city residents to enter the police department.
What's the cutoff age?
The cutoff age to take the test?
Yes.
35.
35.
Unless you've been in the military, and then they give you an extra 3 years.
And I think it's great what you're doing, because that gives us that, constant feed.
Yes.
But what are we doing for let's just say for argument's sake, the 25 to 34-year-olds? Are we giving them any type of extra insight because we have a lot of good kids in these communities from this age group.
Yeah, sure.
And how do they flow through that?
Absolutely, President. So this internship wouldn't just be for PSLA. We may write it up for that specific, because again, we have students that have decided this is what they want to do with their lives. But I don't think it would be. I don't think we would be opposed to if we found a good candidate that was 25, 30 years old that wanted to enter this internship. I don't think we'd be opposed to that as well, or either. So, yep.
Okay, items.
Could I ask you more on that?
Sure.
So I just want to say I think this is really exciting, really awesome. I'd love to learn more about this. I think it sounds really good. So as far as is there any particular emphasis? I mean, obviously, PSLA in Syracuse, we have a lot of students of color in those areas. Is this particularly is that thought of in the outreach and in the incorporation of trying to diversify the force as well?
Without a doubt. Once again, that conduit, if we're able to put this together correctly, so they're clearly going to be city residents. There's no doubt about that. But if you go and visit the PSLA program right now, you'll find out that there's an incredible amount of diversity in that class right now, which we want to do. We want to take advantage of. So yes, that was taken into account. But and keep in mind what the president said, this wouldn't be, if you're going to Nottingham or Henniger or Corcoran and you decide you want to be a police officer, this would certainly be open to anyone that we want to bring into the fold for an internship. It's just PSLA makes the most sense because those kids, those students have said, this is what I want to do.
This is really exciting, and thank you guys for taking the lead on this.
Sure.
Okay, items 11 through 17 are various grants that you've made application for from Homeland Security. You want to go over those briefly?
Sure. So 11 is just, and again, all we're doing at this point is asking for approval from the council to attempt to get these grants. We haven't got them. We don't know if we're going to get them, but we certainly want to apply for them, and there's a shelf life for applying, so we're going in front of the council just for approval to apply. The first one, number 11, is just equipment and training. It's $72,479 for some stuff for the public disorder or public order group that we have. These are items that we hope we never have to use, but we certainly want to have them in our arsenal if we do have to use them. There's some gas masks here with microphones for when this public assembly unit goes out. There's some Geiger counters and different things like that, as well as some tactical training that goes along with this. There's no match required, and it's $72,479.
12?
12 is New York State Division of Homeland Security. Once again, this is $15,000 to purchase a new canine. Our full deployment of canine is usually at 8. That's what we have. If we have full deployment, we are currently sitting at 6 canines. This will be $9,500 for the canine himself, which will be a drug dog, explosive dog. And there's also $4,900 written into this for what are called pseudo-explosives, which we put in the devices so that they can train on them. We don't use actual explosives, but they're pseudo-explosive devices that are put in their toys so that they can train to do it, and that covers the $15,000.
13?
13 is Division of Homeland Security. Once again, it's $100,000 for the bomb squad to purchase a small tactical robot and some night vision equipment.
14?
14 is another Homeland Security for $100,000 for some training equipment, night optics equipment, personal protective equipment such as face masks and chest protectors. And again, it's probably for that public order. It's going to be for the public order unit.
16?
15 is New York State Homeland Security grant for $50,000. It's going to be jointly used between the police and fire department to help prevent potential attacks and protect the public at mass gatherings like Clinton Square and things like that. It's going to be for barriers that we can erect to make sure that cars can't go through and subject them to it. Sorry?
Purchase of a drone too?
Is there a drone in here too?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, yes, a drone as well.
16?
16 is another Homeland Security grant for $50,000. This one is, actually I don't know if Janet's here, this one is not in our budget, it's for IT, it's some type of cyber. Okay, nice. That's me.
Hi there, I'm Dave DeBoer from IT. Dave Prowackett is at a conference today. What we're looking to do is we'd like permission from the council to apply for grant money to get what's called a SIM tool. And what a SIM tool is going to be, it's just going to be another weapon in our arsenal for cybersecurity. As you know, today we're filtering web content, we're filtering spam, there's antivirus software on everybody's PC. We're just trying to secure everything. What the SIM tool is going to do is it's going to look at data traffic coming from the internet inside and then back out. And these logs are extensive. There's no way to manually look at these things. So the SIM tool is going to look at this traffic, and it's just going to look at it. It's not going to touch it. It's not going to block anything. If it's going to have a database with known signatures from malware, viruses, etc. If it doesn't match anything in a database, that traffic just goes right through. If there's a hit, it's going to send an alert to the Center for Internet Security, and it's going to let them know what it found. They're going to examine it, and if it's something bad, they're going to let us know so we can take action on it. It's something that right now it's going to be looking at the traffic from 6 different firewalls upstairs, and the ultimate goal is to bring in traffic from all the other firewalls the city has, which is roughly 40 of them throughout the city and out Skaneateles. Bring that traffic in here, monitor it, secure it, because the last thing we want to do is become the next Atlanta or even Albany just down the road. So that's all. We're just asking for permission to apply for that grant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
17 and 18.
Sure. So 17 is another Homeland Security grant for $173,000 and some change. It's some equipment that we hope we never have to use, but we want to be prepared. Tactical medical kits, some ballistic vests for the canines themselves, meaning the dogs, some night vision equipment, and also some training, counterterrorism training between the police department and the fire department.
And 18 body cams?
Sure, and 18, hopefully I'll explain this correctly. So we're in front of you today just to ask for permission to buy 57 body cams. Our ultimate goal is going to be 220. We're going to enter a contract for 220 body cams, which will cover all uniform patrol. But we have a grant that's going to have a shelf life very soon, which covers, it's the $148,000. It covers 57 body cams, and we have to move quickly on this or we're going to lose that grant. So that's why we're coming to you piecemeal. We may come to you once more or even twice more because we have 2 other grants, and we have to purchase as many cameras as we can with each grant. So it sounds kind of strange, but clearly we're not going from what we have is 110 right now. We're not going down to 57. Our goal is 220, but right now we have to get approval for this so we don't lose this grant from the
Chief,
AG's office.
Chief,
Yes.
this may be a dumb question, but these are all the same cameras, correct?
All the same
I know
cameras.
we're sort of breaking it apart, obviously, to use the grants, but it's all the same stuff. It's not like we're gonna have 110 of one and 57 of another. And,
No,
Okay.
we're going to enter a 5-year contract with Axons. It's all the same cameras and equipment. Yep.
I've heard Councilor Carney ask multiple times about the chest protection for the animal control folks. So does number 14 create any opportunities of chest protective gear being retired from the unit that is getting new? I don't know. It seems like you're getting new chest protective gear in 14.
Yes. Does it do what, though,
Does
Council?
it create an opportunity of old gear being retired that might still be viable?
yeah, so I've asked year in and year out during budget hearings about the animal control. We ask a lot of them to go out and, step into some situations that may be a little
Yep.
questionable. So I know that they don't currently have bulletproof vests. And again, I think to Councilor Rudd's point is, in this grant, is there any way that we, is there any money that would be able to be earmarked for something like that? Because we've consistently been told, geez, we're gonna have to work with, our police department in, one of these grant purchases to add in an additional amount of,
Sure.
vests for that.
Without a doubt, we'll look into that. They do go on some really crazy situations, and they should have protection. I just got to make sure we're not violating any kind of state law. Certain people can have vests, certain people can't. But if we can either find the money for this and we're not violating, or even do some hand-me-downs, we'll certainly look into that. You're talking SPCA? Is what you're
No, the actual, our
city guy? Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, we'll look into
And
it.
Chief, question for you. I took the survey last night on the body cams, right? Who actually created that survey?
It was created jointly between the police department and the grants, Janet and Mary from grants.
Because everything is not a yes or no question, and there was nowhere on there that you could actually give an explanation, so you were limited to yes or no.
Wow, I didn't see the community one. I only filled out the one for the police, so I didn't see the community one. But that doesn't make much sense.
We
if
have
you
to
can't.
have room to be able to specifically give you, critique you.
Yeah, sure.
So-
So there was some that weren't yes or no or
Yeah.
multiple choice, and you had, okay, and there was no, okay. I'll look into that. That doesn't make sense.
Thank you.
You bet.
All done. All righty, Councilor Rudd.
Thank you, Madam President. I have items 19 through 22. For 19, Commissioner Ewald, I know you said that
This is
budget.
This is just a codifying what the budget adopted. You have to pass this. It was in the budget already. It's not additional.
I understand. I was still just going to see if anybody wanted to introduce it, but we can have the clerk do it. So,
Good afternoon, Beth Smith from the Water Department. We are requesting a 4% increase in the water rates. We commissioned an in-depth study of different rate models and determined this was the most reasonable increase to request from the residents of the city of Syracuse. Any questions? Or-
I was going to talk to the water commissioner a little bit on the side. Is there interest for a committee meeting in general about this, or are we good? Okay. Thank you.
I'm a solid no, so,
It's meaningful to you and me. Is it you or me that you have some meaningful work to?
I don't know.
20 is Commissioner Clifford here.
Do I have a water problem? Just check.
I'm Johnson from the Assessment Department. The number 20 is the authorization to sign a contract to have the property appraised. That's city-owned property behind Elmcrest Children's Center. We submitted, we got 3 bids, and the $1,900 was the low bid.
And that's for that 50-unit low-income residential for women and
Well,
children?
eventually, that's what their plan is, but right now, it's to appraise,
This is just to assess it, to appraise
to
it.
appraise the 3.2 acres of land.
All set? Okay.
It's fine by us. Yep.
Okay.
Item 21, probably also correcting the tax rolls.
Yeah, 21 is corrections in the assessment roll. There was a split and combine done on the DeWitt Road property, and we inadvertently left the house off, so we've got to correct the roll. And the other one, through a clerical error, the resident was denied a senior citizens exemption that they were entitled to. So that is to add the senior citizens exemption onto the roll.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
could I actually, now that I'm thinking about item 20, so in some city circumstances that we've had, and looking at other municipalities, you can appraise something as its current value or its potential value. Is that like,
We have to appraise its current use.
you have to appraise it at its current
As
value,
vacant
right?
land.
At its current
Yeah.
use. Okay. Thank you.
The ultimate sale will come back to the common council.
Yep. Yep. Thank you.
for 22, is the Assistant Budget Director here? Do you want to just introduce it, Julie?
Hi, Julie Castellito, Assistant Budget Director. This is just looking for a transfer for the revenue received from body camera Senate item and the fire watch on Marshall Street to be used for fire department overtime and operating supplies in the police department. Any questions?
Any questions?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Those are all my items.
Councilor Green.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 23, can we get an update on bikes?
Neil Burke with DPW. The update is that we will hold this one last time. However, there's been significant process in the past few days with Gotcha Bikes. So we have a finalized list of locations. Their permit has been issued, and they have committed to a 45-day launch window for launch. So where that puts us is the end of next month. We have the commitment, they will have the bikes on the ground, and shortly thereafter, there will be a launch event, which, of course, you'll all be invited to attend.
So we'll have this information by Monday's vote?
No, we're going to hold it one last time, and we'll put it through in the next cycle, just to make sure that we have all of our i's dotted and t's crossed.
Okay. Need it.
Sure, if I ask, you sent me some preliminary stuff. So is the plan that the implementation goes out over the course of a few years? This is like a first round, or is this kind of when they put them in, this will be, what you sent me will be the sum total of what we can expect?
So the preliminary list is for phase one. This is what will be available at the end of next month. The plan is for the program to grow, and we've worked that into the contract. So this is phase one that we're approaching. Phase 2 and 3 are up for discussion, and we welcome community input, and that'll be part of the process. But now the goal is to get the system moving, and it will be on Gotcha to build the network out and solicit information.
Okay. Yeah, I would be curious. So it seems the list you sent me was very kind of, again, to the kind of concept of reaching all the neighborhoods. A lot of it was centralized in high traffic areas that you'd expect them to be in. But as we go along, I mean, I don't know, will it make sense further along to say, to put some further into the neighborhoods in Tip Hill and stuff? I mean, would there be, in all these different neighborhoods that we're in, would it make sense to put them in further in less high traffic areas that would be more accessible for people in a centralized area of a neighborhood?
Absolutely. So the phase one really lays the groundwork using their metrics. They're the experts at planning the system. We worked with them. There are distances between the locations that need to be met in order for their metrics to work and their numbers to have it all make sense. But what we want to do is both infill with additional locations moving forward and also pull those networks out farther. We have to have a starting point, and we chose to focus on areas where we have infrastructure already in place. So you'll see it along the connective corridor. We're pulling out down West Onondaga Street, places where we have bike lanes in place now.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a tool to both expand the city's network, but also help us infill and sort of spread out as we move forward.
Great.
Did you bring in any three-wheelers?
So the company does have a three-wheeler that they just started rolling out. So if I can get one here, we'd love to have you on it.
Tandems as well, please.
Of course.
Go, you want to go? Yeah, go, Cruz.
Thank you.
Can I go
Thank you.
back in time to 22? I'm really sorry. Can I just ask Julie a follow-up on the budget one? Because this is part of the mid-year transfer, which we didn't end up doing because I ended up thinking it was a mid-year increase. And we have, we're increasing the amount we're authorizing to spend. So this is doing that again, right? This is saying it's not keeping the budget constant for the year, it's increasing it, right?
Correct, because those revenues came in, we have to increase.
I know, but we say on one hand, we have these revenues coming in, but on the other, we say we're not spending all the fund balance use we have. So why don't we just offset the use of fund balance? This is what the issue was in the initial transfer. So now instead of multiple transfers where you're getting an increase, you just made it one transfer that's an increase, which I still have the same issue with, which is that why are we increasing the authorized amount for the fiscal year when we already know we're underspending in different codes? The money should be moved around in a way that reduces the planned use of fund balance because you've gotten more revenue than you expected, and you adjust it accordingly so the total amount stays constant.
I would have to go back to Mary on that.
I understand that, that's fine.
Okay.
But
Just really quickly, this is the exact conversation we had before, so let's get with Frank and have this conversation about what should be presented to you.
okay, thank you. I just wanted to raise that.
Okay, thank you. Items 24 and 25, Commissioner. Sweeping program.
Good afternoon, Jeremy Robinson, DPW Commissioner.
So this will be subject to a public hearing,
Yeah.
but can you just give a brief overview of what's included and how the process came to be?
Well, our sweeping and flushing program is a program that we sweep curb streets or approved streets. It goes on property owners' taxes. It's sort of the opposite of slurring unapproved streets. So we don't slurry approved streets, we slurry unapproved, and we sweep curb streets. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. Any other questions on that? Okay, item 26.
You have to hold 25 and move to.
Yeah, 24 and 25 are
Okay.
the same thing, right? 26 is just to amend the contract that CNY Elevator Inspections is changing their name to, I think it's ATSI.
Okay.
So that's
Same
it. Same thing,
service.
same service.
Okay. And then 27, I don't know if that's you, but
I can speak on it if you want.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I mean, I know exactly what's going on. But
unless
legal,
you want to.
legal term.
Good afternoon, Joe Barry, First Assistant Corporation Counsel. Our office has been involved with this property for over a year now, which is one reason I'm working with DPW on it.
2 years.
2 years, thank you, yes. So the property owner has defaulted on his tax trust. To the best of my knowledge, he has never opened his business.
Nope.
And he has not utilized his parking spaces under this agreement. So we are recommending that the ordinance be rescinded.
You got it.
You got it.
Item 28, Commissioner. So do you want to, obviously I was on the RFP committee, but do you want to give us, the other counselors, a brief overview of the process, what we're looking at doing? And
Sure. So this is to enter into contract with GHD on the RFP for the CMMS program, which is the Computerized Maintenance and Management System. This will help us manage our workload, prioritize our maintenance and operations within the department. We're able to track things easier, less paper. This also gives us the ability to prioritize some of these high-risk mains that have a high tendency to fail. So this will help us consolidate all that information, put it in a computerized form on a dashboard so we can prioritize and maintain our assets better. Now we went ahead and RFP out for this proposal. We got 6 proposals in. We narrowed it down to 2 for demonstrations, and the 2 demonstrations were held with both vendors, and the evaluation committee was there to review the demonstrations, and we made our selection based on that. Any questions?
I wanted to know if there are any other city departments that could use this software in their applications, and if you could, if there are, could you discuss what those are?
Yeah, so this process kind of started back last April. We were interviewing different softwares, different vendors. We got together Parks Department, DPW, codes, permitting, and kind of looked at a holistic approach on what could be used for the city as a whole. So this vendor kind of covers that broad spectrum. So we're the most advanced in our GIS assets. So we're going to be the lead on this, and as the other departments can develop their assets and workflows, we can then implement and roll this out to other departments.
And that's for the same price?
Yes.
Great.
It's all dependent on, this price is for the initial first-year cost of implementation and setup. You know, every year there's a subscription for the software, and as other departments develop their workflows, there will be additional costs for them to develop these workflows and implement it for their department.
thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Councilor Carney.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. I have 2 very exciting, controversial issues, 29 and 30.
Good afternoon, Julie LaFave, Commissioner of Parks and Recreation. Item number 29 is for annual reimbursement or funds that we give to Syracuse Parks Conservancy, whose mission is to support the parks.
Okay. Any questions? All right.
Item number 30 is to authorize payment for performance for the Rose Day annual event.
Okay.
What kind of performance was it?
It's for Dave Baker. It's just an annual event. I actually don't know the type of music. I apologize.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Okay.
Not exciting, but very important.
Thank you.
For your work, Commissioner.
She said not exciting, okay.
Not controversial, I should
Yeah,
say.
it's
Not
very
controversial.
exciting. I said
not
it's very
controversial.
exciting and a little controversial, apparently. I was wrong on the controversial part.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Lovejoy Grinnell.
Is there someone here to speak on this YMCA partnership with, for city employees?
That's kind of exciting.
Yes, I'm going to use that
Yeah.
every lunch.
I believe it's me. I might not have all the answers, but I'll be sure to follow up with those that were involved in this. But this is a way to, basically a partnership that we're entering with the YMCA. And as you can see in the attachment, they waive the, initial membership fee. So that's a savings of, about $50, and they have a discounted rate they have listed in the book what the usual monthly individual rate and the discount that we get for each one of these. So it's exciting.
Going back to the why.
Me too.
There you go.
So I don't know if there are any additional questions or information I can get.
Thank you, Ms. Dunham. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you.
Counselor Allen.
Thank you. I have items 32 through 69. And Stephanie, or Commissioner Pascal, she did advise me that you two would speak on her behalf today.
Yes,
Make her
tag
proud.
team. So from the legal point of view, this involves the State Environmental Quality Review Act. As you may know, Councilor Driscoll has requested that the administration draft a lead abatement ordinance. Before we can proceed with presenting that to the council, we need to comply with the State Environmental Quality Review Act, known as SEQR. And this step is the first procedural step. It basically is needed for the council to say to other involved agencies, such as the County Health Department and the DEC, that we, the city, are going to undertake this project. And it gives them the opportunity, if they wanted to step in and say, well, we want to be involved or want to do it on a county-wide or a statewide basis, which we do not anticipate, but we have to provide them with this notice. And after that is completed, with the assistance of CNS engineers, we will complete the SEQR paperwork and bring it back to the council for your review.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions? Nope. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
33?
Good afternoon, councilors. Item 33 is the sub-district plan for SU South Campus that accompanies the zone change that you approved at your last meeting. And that has been revised to reflect only the areas that have been changed to planned institutional district.
Okay, I'm gonna hold this one until Monday, only because I see there's 10 people spoke out.
Well, initially. And so as a result of those comments and the commission and listening to those comments, the zone change was modified to only encompass the residential B portions and not the residential class A1. So the district plan reflects exactly where the zone change takes place.
Okay, so everyone was okay with it after that?
Yes.
This is that little triangle of land, right, that they were talking about?
There's three
a couple
pieces,
three
yep.
pieces, yeah.
So I'll still hold it with a question mark till Monday, because I'm sure somebody probably will reach out to you over in that area.
So my understanding is that the comments in opposition, I was at that planning commission meeting, the comments in opposition were all to take out those residential
Correct.
one areas.
Yes.
All of the comments were responded to in the both last week's
Yes.
legislation and this next week. So there were no comments in opposition to what remains.
There were no comments well, let me put it this way. The comments in opposition were addressed by the commission conditionally approving it only for the areas that the residents did not have concerns over.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Okay. But I didn't want to leave that out and say there were no comments in opposition because that's not true.
Right, okay, I got it. All right, thank you.
All right, number 34, this is a special permit for indoor amusement and recreation where the existing Wegmans is on Onondaga Boulevard. It's a fitness center. It's going in to one of those storefronts in that shopping plaza.
Okay. Thank you.
So what part of that belongs to the city? Because I know a part of it is city and a part of it is
Yep,
Geddes.
it's kind of confusing. It's like town of Geddes, town of Onondaga, and the city are all carved out of where that shopping center is. I think I could probably get you a map, but
Please.
this is in the city. Part of Wegmans is in the city, and this piece of that, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you go over to
know.
the candidate section, then it becomes town of Geddes.
That's about it.
No, produce, I think.
Produce.
Sub shop.
Okay, well, just get me the map.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so now we'll move on to, we're gonna go through items 35 through 68 in order. Item 35, I'll hold. 36. Oh, did you have any updates?
No, we're just prepared to go through the list
Okay.
as needed.
Okay. 36?
I'm still going through trying to get a hold of people, so all District 1s, I'll let you know on Monday.
Okay. 37?
That's the 10th.
37. She is supposed to be in Friday to take care of this,
So we'll hold it.
so hold that one.
Okay. 38 is held. 39 is held. 40 is held. 41?
41 is ready.
42?
Ready.
43, I'm gonna hold that still. 44, hold. 45, hold. 46,
Ready.
47?
Hold on to that. There's supposed to be something moving on that one, too.
Okay, so hold 47.
At this moment, yep.
Okay, I'll hold 48 and 49. Item 50?
I know, I'm looking. This is supposed to be, this is another one that's supposed to be being sold, so we'll hold it until Monday.
Okay.
If nothing's done, then we'll move it.
Okay, 51 held. I'm gonna withdraw 52. And 53?
Same thing, we'll hold till Monday.
Okay. 54, I'm gonna hold this one with a question mark. And I'm going to withdraw 55.
What does it mean when it says previously in phase 9 redeemed?
Which one are
They've
you
previously been subject to foreclosure and they've made a payment. They were included in a previous phase of foreclosure, so they got notices, came before council, and they made a payment to redeem.
That's why it's being withdrawn.
I
I'm
can't,
withdrawing it because they're already in the process of trying to get it paid. So it's no point of holding on to it right now or taking their house. 56, we're gonna hold. 57?
Right now, we're gonna hold 57. There's a lot, yeah. 58, the same thing. I'm waiting to hear back on from 58.
Okay.
We'll hold until Monday.
59?
Same thing.
All right, 60, I'm gonna hold. 61? Counselor Driscoll?
I'm good with that.
So it's ready?
Get ready.
62 through 65 are ready.
Okay, so 62 is ready, 63 is ready, 64 and 65 are all ready. And 66?
63 and 64 being held.
66.
No, they're all ready. 62, 63, 64, 65 are ready.
Same thing with 66. We're gonna wait till Monday. I'm waiting to hear back.
Okay, 67?
67 is ready.
Okay.
68's ready.
Say that again?
68 is ready.
Okay. All right, thank you. And 69, I'm gonna hold that with a question mark until Monday. And I'm all set.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Counselor Driscoll.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 70 is a resolution memorializing Congressman Kako. This is the Carbon Dividend Act. A previous version of this bill was up about, I believe, a year ago, and we supported it. So it's been reintroduced, and it's very close. This is the one with offsetting the price of fossil fuels through an extra fee tacked on to fossil fuels to make renewables more competitive in the market. So if anybody, I think we supported it about a year ago. So if anybody would like additional information, I can provide it for everyone and connect you with some experts who are working on it. This is the Citizens Climate Lobby has been working on this one. So if anyone has any additional questions about the bill or anything else, I can provide info.
Thank you. Counselor Thompson.
I have item 71 is with the fire department. It's reimbursement, from the county when the fire department has somebody go to training for the hazmat. If they are backfilled, if their position is backfilled, the county will reimburse that, correct, Chief? That's it.
All righty, and with that, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in